We've got DR, we've got Nick coming on to have their say. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Mo, what did you make of Chelsea tonight?
They got away with it. Maresca made changes, but they got away with it. Again, they're poor defensively. Again, Chelsea. I was watching the game a bit, and I'm like, Chelsea got away with it. Yes, they made the mistake, and it was 1-0 down, but they got away with it. They're not as solid as how the season started. Yes, that as Kevin is saying, a win is a win, and they needed that win. It looks like they needed it, but they got away with it. There is no debate here, and no Chelsea fan can convince me this is the same Chelsea that we've seen in the beginning of the season. And I have to say one thing in the beginning, Terry. I think it all goes down to one player only. One player only. It's Nicholas Jackson not absolutely being as clinical as he was and not being in the right places. He doesn't have the first touch. I genuinely think that Chelsea didn't play the best game today. Yes, they dominated West Ham. That is expected. You play at Stamford Bridge. Oh, but we dominated West Ham. Yes, you're expected to dominate West Ham. That was always the plan. That was always the plan, to you to dominate West Ham. West Ham were there to defend and try to play on the counter and capitalize on your mistakes, and they did, to be honest. I look at Chelsea and I think the wingers are working hard. The wingers are working hard, but the plan from Maresca is not helping. And I want Chelsea fans to challenge me on this. Madueke is not getting enough help. Sancho is not getting enough help. I saw today many times, right, where Sancho had to dribble two guys to create something. Madueke the same as what happened at Man City. Again, we're saying it over and over again. Enzo Maresca is not putting the players in the right places to perform. When you have your winger every time need to dribble a couple of players, it is not the optimal situation. You need your winger isolated, like Salah does, like Saka does, like Savinho does. And that is, the managers do this always, right? You need Madueke to dribble one-on-one. And now, for the people in the chat, and I'm going to challenge everyone in the Football Terrace chat, big up everyone, make sure to like the video first. You guys keep saying Madueke is trash. When did you see Madueke one-on-one with 10, 15 yards to run, a defender? How many times in the game you saw Madueke, who likes to go to the touchline, isolated with the defender? You see Amad Diallo, even Amorim isolate Amad Diallo to work. Amorim isolate Garnacho, but Garnacho is not good. Chelsea's players are not in the right places to create chances. Yes, Neto did well, but Neto did well. It's adrenaline. Neto goes on his left. He cuts inside. He's a different player. And it's on Enzo Maresca. If you're gonna keep playing Madueke, you need to isolate him. Sub him out. Play Neto from the beginning. Why are you playing Sancho, by the way, if you're asking Sancho to dribble 2-3 players? Many times I see Sancho trying to dribble the two players, and they are solid from West Ham. People like to trash it on Madueke and not on the others. I know why. We all know why. Because Madueke has bad attitude from them. He doesn't defend well. And that is what Chelsea fans don't see. Sancho doesn't have an output lately. When was the last time that Sancho had an output? Dribble, and no output. When is the last time? It's the same. At least Madueke scored in the last game. Terry, I know you're researching. When is the last time Sancho had an output?
Yeah, I wanted to go check that now.
Yes, please.
The last time he got an assist versus Crystal Palace on the 4th of January, but he's got one assist and no goals in his last 10 games.
10 games, one assist. That's not good enough for Chelsea wingers, is it? It's not good enough. If any winger in the Premier League is playing as a winger and having one assist in the last 10 games, that's not good enough. That's not good enough for you. And that is on the manager. By the way, Sancho is not a bad player. You just need to put him in the right place to perform. You not having Kukurea doing overlapping a lot. You not having Malagusto or Reece James overlapping is not helping your wingers. It's Enzo Maresca today again. I like Enzo Maresca. He started the season very well, but he's so stubborn now. Teams are figuring out how you play football. You need to change it. You are stubborn a little bit. You need to change it. Cole Palmer was asleep for 70 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Even the commentators were saying that, because you're not getting him in the right places. It's on the manager. I'm going to tell you this, guys, and this is the last thing I'm going to end on. If the player is getting in the right places and not performing, like what Terry used to say about Savinho, right? Terry used to say that about Savinho. Savinho He has moments where he can perform in the beginning of the season, but he's not getting any output. I don't see a lot of Chelsea players in the right places to perform. So it's not on them. It is not on them. It's on the manager to create the right opportunities for these guys to perform. That is what, oh my God. Here you go. Can you show the super chat, please, Terry? I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Someone is triggered right away. Mo's doing the same defending job he did for Gallagher. Chelsea's best player. Chelsea, he was your best player at some point. Rotten on the bench at Atletico, so please take most tactical takes with a pinch of salt when he talks about Noni as well. When is the last time, my man C, you saw Madueke isolated the defender? You tell me. If you played football at any level, you know that managers in the dressing room, if you have wingers that have trickery and quick, they say, we need to isolate this guy. I want this guy isolated the defender to perform. You just don't like Madueke for whatever reason you have. Why haven't you mentioned Sancho? Why? I know why. I know why, see? Because you want to score one against Man United fans. On your head top, he succeeded. Your club is trash. He succeeded with us. That is what happens in football. Same, by the way, same as Arsenal fans wanted to score one on Chelsea. Oh, Kai Havertz worked. Good money spent on Kai Havertz. We scored one on you. Bro, this Madueke hate has to stop. Have the same energy for all the players, and I will hear you. I will hear you. That is my end. That is my end for this.
Yeah, look, I would say with Sancho, from an output perspective, started the season, first 3 games, 3 assists, and it's one assist since the 28th of September for him. He got 2 goals, 2 games running against Southampton, and then against Tottenham in the 3-2 win, but no goals either side of that. So from an output point of view, and for me at Man United, that was the one thing he lacked more than it was the lack of output that bothered me more than anything else. There was good moments, good touches, good passes, held the ball up well, but in terms of when we signed Sancho, I wanted that Dortmund output. I wanted those Dortmund assists, those Dortmund amount of goals, because the guy was at a ratio of about 85-90%. And that part has been missing. I didn't realize, because I'm not a Chelsea fan, I weren't looking. I didn't realize it was one piece of output in his last 10 games. That's crazy to put that. Siege responded here. Terry, your 13th full season, Sancho sweet. Yeah, I mean, where my club is irrelevant to this conversation. If Noni's good enough, he'll do the job. Same as Sancho. If he can't, then he'll get sold. I think I don't have sentimental value on players who haven't won me anything. Nice try, Mo.
Okay, at least you called Sancho out. So maybe you're more honest than a lot of Chelsea fans that told me, but Sancho dribbles. He gets nutmegs. Nutmeg 1, the opposition 0. It's not, football is not about nutmeg. At least you're honest, see. I have the same, by the way, for my club. If you look the best on the pitch and you don't give me any output, you're giving me nothing, because I'm not winning games because of you. I want to win games by having my winger score or assist, especially if Jackson is not scoring. You know, people can get away with it if my winger is assisting my striker and he's putting the ball in the back of the net, but your striker is not scoring. You have Korea helping you score goals. Your wingers need to perform, and it's on your manager. And I'm sorry, you say Madueke and Sancho are not good, right? What about your manager using them to the best attributes they have? The club hired this guy to get the best out of these players. And if you keep saying Madueke is trash, how much you think you're going to get for him? You're going to lose money on him then. It's on the manager. I'm going to say this again so people maybe don't understand it, right? The first time. It's on the manager to play to the best of his players. Same energy we have for Amorim, same energy we have for Ange Postecoglou. Play to the best ability of your players, not the other way around. Do not ask someone who runs marathons to beat Usain Bolt in a 100-meter sprint. That is wrong. That is the whole point. I don't know. Chelsea fans are, oh my God, why do you say Madueke is good or Sancho? I'm not saying they're good. I'm not saying they're world-class players. I never sat here and said he's a world-class, but he's not trash. Madueke is not trash.
I hear that.
Other teams.
One thing I'd say on that though is we saw 7 attacking players come on the field, including the 3 subs. Neto was the only one who actually really did anything. So it's not just Sancho, it's not just Madueke, it's all of them. Jackson didn't do well tonight. He hasn't really performed in the last 7 games. He's not really doing enough. Earlier on in the season, you saw him breaking the lines. His first touch was there. We haven't seen any of that. His finishing's gone down the drain a little bit. And Nkunku's coming off the bench, isn't really doing anything, slowing the game down. Mark Gee, things with him, he's played a lot of Conference League games. And today, going up against a very physical West Ham side and a very compact West Ham side, I'm not surprised he was quite quiet in the game. So it's only really Neto who actually came on and did anything. So I think the thing is with Madueke, he deserves the criticism he's getting. But at the same time, it's our whole front line. You can see that in that first half, we barely did anything. We were quick passengers in that game. I think our midfield did all right. I think our midfield played quite well. As I said, Enzo was probably our second best player behind Neto. But it's just not clicking at the moment. And yeah, we were a bit lucky today. But at the end of the day, we need the results. So if we shit house our way to the next 4 or 5 games, I'll take it. At the end of the day, we just got to get the confidence back. We just got to get the wins back in. I mean, out of our next 4 games, I want a minimum 10 points. That's what I'd say. Out of the next 10 out of 12, we've got Brighton away, Villa away, Southampton at home, Leicester at home. So I think we really need to start putting the points together now. So, but
do you think, how many games you said?
What are the points?
How many games you said?
Out of the next 4 games, I think we need 10 points. 10 out of 12.
Do you think you're going to get 10 points? Looking at today's game is an indication.
No, going off of recent form, no, I don't think that. But that's where we need to be. If we want to be in this top 4 race, that's where we need to get to. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we've got Southampton and Leicester. We should be putting them teams away. But recently, we haven't been beating the teams we should be beating. So I can't sit here and say I'm confident about that. But that's what we need to do. And that's why I say it doesn't matter right now how we get the wins. We just need to get them.
Yeah, points are important at the minute. I do agree, simply because, well, they see what he's like. But if this new midfielder helps to shore up the central area of Man City, I wouldn't be if he's a good signing. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a run. If he isn't and their midfield don't improve, I wouldn't worry too much about City. But there's always that worry, considering they've gone and dropped 210 million on an attacker, 2 defenders, and a central midfielder. So yeah, I do agree that the points are important.